Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So these are mindset tricks, perspective shifts that if you start to adopt them and genuinely believe in them, your whole reality will change. Number one, something simple but very effective is rejection is redirection. Taking something that could have been viewed as negative and making it something positive and seeing it as something like, it wasn't meant for me, will make you so much stronger, so much more open. And the key thing here though is to actually be open to the redirection, to the place that you become redirected to, because to be honest, so many of the better things in life are unexpected, are spontaneous, because the person was open enough to welcome this surprise, this unpredictable yet life-changing energy towards them. Number two, energy flows where your attention goes. Stop bringing up over and over the things you dislike, the people you dislike, why you dislike them, why they angered you, why they upset you. If you want to protect your peace and not bring any energy and focus and attention and effort to the things that don't bring any good to your life, stop bringing them up, stop mentioning them, stop ranting about them, stop complaining about them, just stop talking about them. Number three, your thoughts shape your reality. You know when you get a negative thought, you gotta shut that down. You gotta shut that down real quick, because the minute it starts to form into a bigger thought and you're like, whoa, this is my whole world now, I hate this, I hate that, why did I deserve that, I didn't deserve that. You cannot allow your thoughts to consume you, because they will shape the way you look at life, the way you live your life, the way you perceive reality, the people. Like, you will start seeing negative in everything and everyone. The minute you realize this negativity, you need to shut it down by distracting yourself and focusing on something else. The best thing you can do in the short term is rant, yes, because it feels good. But in the long term, you're gonna end up depressed, you're gonna end up hating your life. And for what? This is not doing anyone good. Actually, it's bringing entertainment to other people because, you know, it's something entertaining for them to listen to. And you're hurting yourself so much more by allowing this negativity to infiltrate you. Number four, you don't have to be ready, you just have to begin. I think so many of us overthink whether we're mentally ready, whether we're physically ready, whether we're ready for judgment. But, you know, we're doing all this talking, we're doing all this thinking, but nothing is happening. You know, our life is not changing, we're not transforming into a better version of ourselves by doing this thinking and talking and overthinking. And to be honest, beginning something doesn't seem as scary as being ready for it, right? Because when you decide that you're ready for something, you have to check so many boxes. I'm ready for this because I have the experience, I have the knowledge, I have the expertise, I have the connections, I have the blah, blah, blah. But to begin something, it's not that you're saying, I'm beginning because I'm ready. You're beginning just because you're there. The resources are there at the time. Like, you don't have to be mentally ready, you just have to physically start doing it, and the mental readiness will come right after. Number five, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you're unsuccessful, why would successful people want to work for you or want to work with you? You attract successful people because you are successful. If you're constantly negative about your life, you're gonna attract negativity, right? And just even naturally, when you're having a conversation with a friend and you're constantly like complaining about something, they're gonna relate to you with their similar complaints. But if you're talking about positive things, they're gonna relate to you with their positive things. Number six is, if you're not embarrassed by your past self, you haven't grown. And I can appreciate that it can be seen differently as well. Like, people that don't want to live with regrets, they're like, no, why would I be embarrassed or regret my past? You should be fine with it, because that means that you have changed if you feel this way about yourself. Number seven, move in silence and let success be your noise. I think that's such a powerful statement, such a powerful perspective, mindset, everything. It's like, stop yapping about what you want to do and just show people what you've done once it's done. Don't allow any evil eye energy. Like, don't give people the opportunity to talk badly about something that you want that you don't yet have. People can talk about something bad that if you've already achieved it, that's not going to do anything. But if you haven't achieved it yet, why allow negative potential energy towards it? Number eight, everything that you failed at, every failure that you've gone through is just data for your next move. And to be honest, I just want to say that the coolest people I know are the people that own their failures, that talk proudly about their failures and how they're using that failure to then fuel their next project, their next business. Failure is authentic, failure is relatable. It makes you look confident when you can talk about it. Number nine, the only approval you ever need is your own. Because at the end of the day, everything is your decision. Everything comes down to if you want to do something, or if you will do something, or if you did do something. You have more control over your life than you think. And you don't need to seek approval from other people, because even if they approve or disapprove, they're not taking the action. Don't seek for other people's approval, because they're not the ones that are putting their life at risk. And if you let them make that choice, then it's their life. Why are you giving your life away? You're given this life and you should take ownership for it and responsibility for it. Why are you letting someone else who already has a life take another life? Like, not in the killing way, but you know what I mean? Like, don't allow that. That's just bitch behavior, to be honest. You can get opinions from other people, but at the end of the day, it's you who needs to approve. It's also your life, and you will bear the cost of that. Number 10, assume it's already yours. I mean, when you think like that, you think that you deserve it. But say you want a lot of money, but you're not putting in the work to make a lot of money, you intrinsically feel like you don't deserve that. And why you think that way is because you know you're not putting in the work. So it's like a cycle. You need to put in the work in to then feel like you deserve it, but you also need to feel like you deserve it in the beginning to want to put the work in, right? I mean, it also stems from a bit of laziness, and that is a habitual change that needs to be done, or like habits basically, but relieve the pressure that is there around, oh, but I don't deserve it, or oh, there's so much I need to do in order to achieve it. No, you already have it, but you need to maintain it. You already have your dream body, but you need to maintain it. Who knows, this could work for you. 11, if you believe in miracles, they will happen. Same way, if you believe in ghosts, they will show up. You know what I mean? Like, number 12, treat money with love and not fear. You know, of course, this is hard to do if you've grown up in a household where money was always the talk of like not having it enough. Oh my God, if you have money, save it, you know, don't spend. When you grow and you become an adult, you need to create your own relationship with money, because it's so important to use it with love and to believe in it and to put it where there's opportunity, like, you know, investments, have multiple sources where you get your income, where you put your money. Start looking at money as something that gives you opportunity rather than limits you. 13, protect your energy. Say goodbye to people when it's time to say goodbye. Some people are just lessons and not lifelong connections. 14, I love to talk about, but it's don't confuse desperation with manifestation. It's completely different, because the results are completely different. When you're desperate for something, it's actually repelling the thing that you want, because desperation is such a repellent force, whereas manifestation actually invites it. You're open to it. Desperation causes you to act outside of your character. Manifestation allows you to act confidently, patiently. 15, how people treat you is how they treat themselves, or is reflective of the state that they're in themselves. So for example, say you're walking on the street and this like drugged up person living on the streets just shouts a bunch of like insults to you. You're not actually going to get offended from it, because you know that they're going through what they're going through. So you know that they treat you like that because they're going through a shit time themselves. So why don't you apply the same theory to people close to you? You don't allow someone else's actions to trigger you so much, because one, you don't know what they're going through. Two, it says more about who they are and how they deal with things rather than who you are. 16, if you were to change or do one thing for your diet, I would recommend just remove processed sugars, because if you search up everything that happens to your body if you cut processed sugars, it's just an endless list of amazing things. Basically, it clears up skin, enhances the function of stem cells, reduces inflammation. I mean, there's just so much good that comes from not eating chocolate. And yeah, it's going to be hard, especially in the beginning, if you have the habit of like eating sweet snacks, but there's always an alternative. There's always fruit, there's always sweet vegetables. Like, have fruit like available in your fridge. 17, I'm going to keep it short, but say no without explaining. I'm not going to explain myself for the sake of the point, so enjoy. 18, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. And I agree with that, but I disagree with sources that say, oh, and therefore you should change your friends or blah, blah, blah. No one's going to change their childhood friends, you know? If they're maybe not the best in a career or best in health or whatever, right? You don't just choose friends so easily. Why don't you invite better things to the circle? Think of more positive things that you can teach them or inspire them with. Don't necessarily have to find the positive in other people. You might as well just bring that same positivity that you want to find into the group you're currently with and keep those same friends. 19, every time you people please, you abandon yourself. Okay, and honestly, that hits deep. No one will look out for you the same way that you can look out for yourself, because no one knows exactly what it is that you need, that you want, that your body desires. So you need to be that person for yourself rather than sacrificing what it is that you need in that moment, whether that's rest or anything else. And let me tell you something, because when you want to hang out and that person's not feeling well, they will choose to stay home because they're not people pleaser and they're listening to their body because they respect themselves. Honestly, if it gets to an extreme level, that is a form of abuse and you don't want to do that. Number 20, silence is also an answer, and you should honestly take it, especially from people that are very deliberate, that have a lot to say a lot of the time. If they're silent in certain situations, that probably means something. And you should take it as it is. 21, get closer, physically closer to high vibration energy. That could be a location, that could be people. A lot of time it is people, but you know, identify those negative vibrations first in order to distance yourself. And anyway, like when you distance yourself from negative vibration, it kind of automatically brings you closer to higher vibrations, right? Because you become unattracted to these things once you start to notice them. For example, a lot of negativity, a lot of jealousy, lots of complaining, lots of ranting, lots of gossiping. Like if it's over and over and over again from like the same person, the same people, like you know that this is not positive vibrations, right? 22, how people speak about others is how they speak about you. I think that's just an unspoken rule that everyone pretty much knows, but I'm just reminding you guys to like know who to trust, because if they're constantly talking bad about someone behind their back to you, 110% of the time, it's going to be like that when you're not in the room. 23 is a bit of a physical reminder, but to breathe deeply. You know, everyone breathes, right? That's normal. But how many of us actually use our full lung capacity? I recognized this when I had a piano teacher, and she was like, I think she was teaching me how to sing at some point, and she was like, okay, how are you breathing? Because she noticed something was off. And I was like, what do you mean? Like normally, no? And she's like, when you breathe in, does your stomach expand? Like, do your lungs/stomach expand? And I said, no, when I breathe in, everything like comes up and out, right? But that doesn't actually make sense, because when you breathe in, you need to expand your lungs. So many of us don't breathe the correct way. And to be honest, it's really uncomfortable to breathe that way. But like, oxygen plays a big role in how your brain functions. Like, people that don't breathe well when they're sleeping, a lot of time wake up with headaches. So make sure you breathe properly. Set an alarm if you have to, like a meditational breathing session for yourself for 5 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't yap too much on here. I really try to make it like as quick fire as possible, but also at the same time wanting to give as much advice and like examples. So hopefully it helps in some way. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!